Right, today we're going to be looking at the brand new brand NocPix by Infrared. So this is the Ace series of thermal imaging rifle scopes. There's a few different models in the range. So there's a 35mm, a 50mm and a 60mm option. These all are available with slightly different resolution sensors. Today we are going to be talking about the 50mm H50 model and the S60 model, S60R as well. The R denotes rangefinder. There is a standard and an LRF model available. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at the packaging very briefly. So that's a nicely branded box. As you can see, nice logo on there, brand of the product, picture of the product should I say. Nice padded carry case here. So in there you get a bit of a welcome note, as you do on a lot of the packaging now, welcoming you to the NocPix brand. Padded carry case. In there you get your strap for the actual carry case. You get a dual bay charger dock, some instruction manual, you get two 18650 batteries, and you get a recoil cup. So they all come supplied with the unit. The unit is not supplied with any ring mounts. You choose your own ring mounts with this. Previously, the top-end Tube TS model did come with a nice QD mount. That's a really nice touch. It was a really quality mount. I like that. But this series doesn't have any mounts included. You just pick your own to suit your own scope because there's that many different options available out there. So, at the start, when we take a look, spring-loaded cap that will rotate back and round wherever you want to suit it to, where you position for your best for your own needs. You do have a focus adjustment, a shark fin. Nice and slick to move, just makes it that much easier using your thumb to focus. A nice little touch that's inbuilt, you don't have to fit any aftermarket one. Centre of the unit, you've got your encoder wheel that activates all your menu functions. Short press and a long press will activate different series of different menu functions, as most scopes do. On the side, a very nice little touch is the USB port for downloading and charging the unit is here at the side of the port. So basically, turn that, protects the port. You don't have a cap to lose. Turn it back, you can access a USB-C port. So that's quite a nice little touch, a nice little design feature that's quite unique. Just like a lot of people do, believe it or not, lose the caps when they're out and about. That just stops that happening. At the side, 18650 battery cap. Now I've put my own 18650 in. There is two of the NocPix branded ones in there, but this was just while I was trialing the unit. So that pops in, positive end first, and then you've got your cap, connects and shuts the battery compartment. There's a 4000 milliamp hour battery inbuilt into the unit. Then you've got your own 18650, so it has got a long run time for the unit. Further back, you've got your ocular zoom here. So this is a unique feature to the Ace series. There's no real other scopes I've noted that do have an ocular zoom. NocPix, I am sure, as certain as anything, that they have the patent on that. So that is basically very similar to when you use a front-mounted thermal or night vision device where you zoom into the eye display. This basically, it's got a series of glass elements that basically just magnify the back display, and you're going to get something that's not like digital zoom. You're actually zooming in on the display without any pixelation. One downside of it is that you're going to lose some of your icons from around the screen. There is going to be a firmware update that will centralise the icons, so they're more visible if you do go right to the full range of the ocular zoom. Like I say, it's a nice little feature. You can zoom in on the display, but it's totally different and standalone to digital zoom. The digital zoom function is still on the device, and you access that by rotating the encoder wheel, and it zooms up, depending on if you've got it on standard magnification or you've got the picture-in-picture activated that will zoom in within that function. At the back, you have your rangefinder function, image recording, and your power button. And then you've got your diopter adjustment there, and obviously your recoil cup goes on the back of that end of the scope. So, specification-wise, right, this is the H50R model. So, like I said, the R denotes the fact that it has an inline LRF on it. This model has an f0.9 lens, which is a large lens. Basically, an f1 would mean if it's a 50mm focal length lens, it would be 50mm wide. If it's f0.9, it's even wider. So basically, it will let more infrared transmission through into the sensor itself. So it is slightly larger. As you can see, you do have this inline LRF system. This has got a small footprint compared to some others, and it's a different style design. Nice and seamless. It also takes away less of the lens slightly, with it being f0.9 than f1.0, because again, a slightly larger lens, you're taking away less of the actual footprint of the lens itself by it being larger, because this does take up a little bit of the space of the lens, which could, in all essence, affect the sensitivity. Not from my findings. It doesn't do any change in sensitivity. Not what I can tell anyway. So that inline LRF system is a 1200 meter LRF, and it ties in with an inbuilt ballistic system. You can change your reticle markers on the ballistic system. You can have an X, a dot, a horizontal reticle with windage marks. So there's quite a few different options. What I've noted about this one is it's actually on a sort of timer system. So once you activate the rangefinder and the ballistic system, what happens is it will automatically just turn off after a few seconds. I think it's, without timing it, I think we're talking about 10 seconds, maybe a little bit longer or shorter, and it just removes itself, which is nice because you're not having to try and leave that on the screen if you don't need to use it. The software in the device and the firmware is the Reality Plus. So it's got algorithms that will pull out detail of animals and enhance the detail overall. Eye display, cracking eye display, as did the TH50V2 and the TS60 models. It's a 2560, huge 1.03 inch eye display. These components are quite expensive. Eye displays are one of the most expensive components in this design, along with the lens and the sensor, and it gives you a really big immersive viewing experience. Shutterless design. It doesn't need calibration. It doesn't have a shutter within the actual front of the sensor to calibrate. It just has a shutterless design, so you're not going to get that freezing when you're just about to go and pull the shot. It's also IP67 rated. So these retail at around 3,000, just under 3,600 UK pounds. And there's a lot in the market at the minute. There's the Stellar 3 SQ50, the Ace H50R, and then there's the Thermion XG series along that price point, similar price point as well. Obviously there's a standard and LRF, slightly different in price. But yeah, that is a nice scope, some nice unique features to the design itself. So you're getting, like I say, 2560 inline LRF ballistic system, and a very unique feature being the ocular zoom. Got these in stock at the minute. If anyone is interested, take a look at Blackwood Outdoors online on the website. Finance options, if you want to do finance on this, you can do it and spread the cost over 12 months or even longer if required. Yeah, so that is the Ace. The other model, which I mentioned we're going to talk about, is the S60R, which isn't here. It's not out yet in the country. Fingers crossed we get them at the end of the month. And the difference between that model and this model is a larger 60mm lens, a full high-definition 1280 resolution sensor along the same lines as the Tube TS60 model. So that is the flagship, and that 60mm lens brings the detection range of the S60R to 3,100 metres, whereby the H50, the 640 resolution, this one, is 2,600 metres. Another small note I forgot to mention was the 640, this one, is 15 MK net D sensitivity. The full 1280 is 18 MK net D sensitivity. Also, the 640 resolution model is a 60 Hz, so it's very seamless, nice, slick, seamless viewing when you've got moving objects in the scene. And the full HD is a 50 Hz resolution, so nice, fast frame rates on both models there. And again, the 60mm flagship model, it's got the ballistic system and ocular zoom in as well, and it will be retailing around 5,400 UK pounds for the full high definition. Like you say, the 640 is 3.6. So yep, give a look on Blackwood Outdoors, have a look, see what you think. Finance options there. If you want one, check it out online. Thanks for watching.